Hey everyone, this is Jill with Apostrophe S. Today I'm going to show you how to make our new So Much Love cross-stitched necklace. It's got this little bejewelment on the bottom and it's cross-stitched on this wooden disc with a felt backing. Okay? So let me show you what comes in this kit. You've got the disc that's got the design on it, you've got the jump rings, the little bejewelment, the backing, you've got embroidery floss, the chain, a couple of needles, and then you've got some patterns. So you can see that first one that I showed you is, it's this pink colored heart, but you can also do it in purple, or you can see we've got a two-tone purple. We even did a striped one. So there's a couple of different choices, or you can really even make your own. We've given you this option on the back where you can draw out your own design and do your necklace that way. Okay, what you're going to need from home is you're going to need some scissors to cut your embroidery floss. You're going to need some needle nose pliers or some jewelry pliers. These are jewelry pliers that have kind of the rounded nose, but needle nose works great. And then you also need a hot glue gun, and I'll show you for that in a second, what you need that for in just a second. Okay, so what we're going to start with is embroidering actually the disc. So I've threaded my needle. Because these needles are so little, what I would recommend, I think you can see this here, I've used a piece of Scotch tape and I've put that over the end of it and smoothed it out and then cut it on an angle so it threads right through the eye of that needle really simply. Now if you've ever done cross stitch, you can see that all of these little holes, really we're going to be making little squares because 4 holes make a square. You figure if you look at it like this, you've got a square, okay? So say that I've got my holes set up this way. I'm going to come up through this hole and go down that hole, come up through this hole, go down, so that I get a whole series of diagonals, and then when I come back, I'm going to come back on this hole and go down this way so that I cross them all across, but I do it in a row, okay? So another thing that I want to show you before I get started with the actual embroidery is this one I haven't put the backing on, so you can see it's pretty knotted, and when you put the backing on that with the felt, it's going to be pretty lumpy. The look we were going for instead is something more like that. Whoops, let me move the chain. More like that. You can see the back side is almost as smooth as the front. And what we've done is when you finish a row and you've pulled your needle and thread up, you just slide that needle underneath a row or a column and pull the needle through, and then it'll pull that string through and floss, and you can just clip the edges and it keeps it all smooth. But let me show you how to start that so that you don't have the knots. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like I showed you with these plates, I'm going to come up on the top right hand and go down on the left. So for this, I'm going to start on this very, very top corner of the heart. And rather than pulling the floss all the way through, I'm going to lay it across like this. Okay? So I'm going to go down diagonally. Now you'll notice I steer clear of that thread. I just go over it like that. Because if I catch the thread and push it up or down through a hole, it can start looking kind of funny. Plus it can make it too thick when I get too many thicknesses of the thread and then have that tail as well. Okay, so I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to bear with me here. Okay, so I've got 4 of them going across. Now I'm going to come down here. Now I could go all the way over here, but just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to come down, or excuse me, come back up through, because I'm coming from the back, and go straight down diagonal. Okay, and then come through that one, and diagonal. If you've done cross stitch, the thing that's a little bit trickier with this is this wood disc doesn't give like the Aida cloth would give, or linen. So it's a little bit more difficult that way, but it's nice because it's a small design and you don't need an embroidery hoop. and you just go like that, and you get your first row done. And then you come down on this hole here and start that whole row, and you just do the whole necklace until you're done. And again, you can do it in the patterns, the stripes, or the two-sided, or however you want to do it. You could even do it polka dot if you wanted. Okay, so when you're done with that and you clip all the ends, you're going to need to put the felt backing on. And what I did, whoops, let me get the one that's smooth, is, see, there's the front of it. So the backing, I don't actually have this glue gun on, but I would put some dots of glue around this heart like this, and then I would take the felt, and it fits almost exact, and I would place it on and press it really good. You can even flip it over and press it hard against a hard table to really make it smooth. Now when you do that, some of the glue, the hot glue, is going to seep out of the sides. And what we've done for that is we've just taken your scissors and you just kind of put it up against the edge of that and scrape or kind of cut that glue off and move it, and so that it makes your edges really clean. Okay, so once you've got all of that done, you're ready to put on the jump rings. Now, if you've ever used, and the jump rings, you need the jump ring for the chain, and you need the jump ring for the little bejewelment on the bottom. So you've got two. Now, if your jump ring is like this, rather than opening it like this, you want to open it like that, rather than like that, if that makes sense. Okay. The reason is you don't want to mess up the integrity of this circle. So you find the opening of the jump ring, and you just open it like that, if you can see that. Now this isn't done, but if we pretended like it was, you thread that in like this, and you just pop the chain on like that, and then you pull it back together, and you can even take your pliers and kind of pinch that ring to make sure that it's on there good. And it is. And then they do the same thing on the bottom with your little bejewelment, so that it looks like this. So you've got it all embroidered, you've got your little bejewelment, your chain, the backing, you're done. So much love from Apostrophe S. Make it yours.